Welcome back, guys, to another episode, and that is episode 3 we're on now. 3 weeks on the trot. We've been banging out these live contents for the Garage Therapy Q&As. So what's coming up in the episode today? So hopefully we'll have a few of you coming on, joining the live. I've got a new webcam. So I've been using the DJI Pocket 3. And I have to say, by the looks of it, there's a bit of hue from the lighting on my thing. So just excuse the purpleness of the background, but I'm coming to you in 4K, so hopefully this should be coming in a little bit better. So looking forward to seeing who's coming on tonight. What we're going to be discussing in the first part of the show is we're talking about the Garage Therapy tools. Now I know it's going to be quite frustrating for some of you in America because you haven't got all these tools yet, but hopefully you'll have all these tools by Seam. And I want to go through a few little components about these tools. Pictures don't really do it justice, some of the tools, unfortunately, but nevertheless, we'll go through some stuff. We'll go through a bit of come up in the second part of the episode. We're going to be going through Garage Therapy CS and installation. We're going to go and see what Maz says about CS. So that's coming up as well. And we're also, like I said, in the other part of the show, we're going to be answering your questions. So again, in the description, in the comment section, you're going to be able to see a little description, and you should be able to use that to get locked in, locked on. And I'll leave that in the chat for you guys to literally go in there, hit the button, and if you want to come on and ask me a question, just type that into your browser and you can come on straight away. So let's jump into the show and let me bring up some of the tools and some of the stuff that we've been talking about for Garage Therapy that I use regularly in my business. So where are the tools? Here we go to the shop. Let me share this with you. So here we have all the tools. So you have to start with, you have the Garage Therapy GT application kit. This is a cool little kit. You get the little suede block and you get the little suedes. You've got the GT wash pad. You've got the GT wheel mitt. You've got the GT drying towel, which I think you're going to be really excited about some of the information on this. Not a big drying towel fan, but trust me, this yeah, I think you'll be pretty impressed with this bit of kit. Whether I should divulge some of the background information on it is probably here to be seen, but we will find out. We've got the utility towel, we've got the GT dual drying towel, the GT final towel, the GT pearl weave towel, the glass cleaning towel, and the 2 GT plush microfiber pads. So let's dive into the wash pad to start with, because this thing is absolutely massive. It's huge. If you've seen some of my videos, you'd have seen how big that actually is, which is mental. Chris, welcome to the live stream, mate. Hope you're well. Any questions, mate? Start pounding away. We're just going through some bits and pieces. So the GT wash pad is a professional premium grade wash pad that is gentle and safe on your automotive paint surfaces. The large surface area and soft Korean microfiber yarn makes washing your paintwork efficient and enjoyable. So it's 23 by 23 centimeters, which is absolutely massive. So if you've got little hands, you might need to might want to use the wash the wheel mitt instead. The wheel mitt and the wash mitts are very similar. Obviously, one is padded, one isn't, but it's got this split fiber technology, which basically allows it to release the dirt a lot easier than normal wash pads. So I was a little bit dubious about this when I first started using it, thinking it might be, you know, I wouldn't say it's never going to be unsafe if it's a garage therapy product, to be honest with you. They do a lot of testing on this stuff, but I was worried about obviously the fibers and the yarns on the on the surfaces and stuff on softer paints. And to be honest with you, since I've been using it, I've actually seen nothing. So I'm actually, it's my mitt I use full time now, to be honest with you. One of the negatives is that they don't have an actual wash mitt yet, which is one of the things that's kind of a negative at the moment. Not having a wash mitt where you can put your hand inside. Some people prefer that. Some people actually prefer it, but they don't even put their hand in it. So that completely depends what you want. But the GT wash pad is, it's a cool bit of kit. Holds a hell of a lot of water. I will do a video on that and to show exactly how much water it actually holds, which will be interesting. And so you've got a similar technology in the GT wheel mitt as well. So it's a kind of same technology. It's a split kind of what's it called? Trying to think what it's called now. Split fiber mitt. So the fiber split, which allows you when you go into the bucket that you can actually release the dirt out, which is quite good. Price of this UK wise is £8.50, which is not too bad at all. So, these are kind of consumable items, but mine's lasted me quite a long time. And I'll probably do roughly about 3 or 4 cars a week. So, like I said, premium grade, 4 finger wash mitt, very good. My daughter actually is only like 3 years old, 4 years old. So, she uses this to help me with bits of her body work so she can get a hand in it. And it's absolutely cute as hell. But like I said, for alloy wheels and stuff, it's really, really good. Ergonomic, premium quality, and it's compatible with all wheel types. And it gives you obviously some direction. So if you're ever looking for sort of some background information and stuff on the garage for every stuff, the website is full to the brim of lots of knowledge and bits and pieces. So feel free to stumble across the garage for everyone because you're going to get loads of tools, loads of information on all the chemicals and all the products. Now, next up in the lineup is the actual GT drying towel. This is absolutely so annoying when I talk about the garage for every stuff at the moment. It's getting on my nerves because I had to say this to Maz this week. Like the way they develop the products and what they do with them. Just the thought processes and stuff. Like when you use the product, it's hard for me to relate it to you. Excuse me, it's 20 to 12 at night over here, so I apologise for yawning. So one of the things that's quite cool about this towel is on one side you've got on the grey side you've got a twisted cut loop suitable for general purpose drying techniques, and on the other side you've got a shorter TR loop weave, which is the blue side, which is suitable for a pat drying style and glass surfaces such as windscreens and panoramic roofs. So there's a really good, when I use this product and I got it out, it's a really good bit of information on this I want to talk to you about, because I'm not a fan of drying towels because some of the drying towels I've used in the past, I've seen marring and stripes down the yeah down the panels basically from where I use the dragging technique. Now that technique has got to be put in the bin. That's got to be in room 101 for putting in the bin, because that technique is just not safe for paint at all. Now those scratches are easy to get out, but yeah, I don't recommend that technique. And so with the twist and cut loop, what this means is that it's like a split fiber, like you were talking about with the wash mitt and the dry and the thing. It means that the ends of it have been split so that it allows it to be a lot softer and not hold onto the dirt, and obviously soak up the moisture bits as well. And it's obviously pat drying and stuff is such a better way of drying the car off. But what I realised is after speaking to Maz is the drying towels I had that I was getting this damage from was, when he's done all this testing, is just from actually just having a drying towel for too long. Like especially if you're using the wrong detergents to wash them with. And a lot of mistakes people make is they actually hang them over like lights or hang them over things to dry out. So all these kind of issues, having a separate designated bag for your drying towel to basically, you should have basically, if you're doing like 4 or 5 cars a day, you should have 4 or 5 drying towels, and once they've been used, you put them straight in a bag, ready for the wash. And Rags to Riches by House of Rags, Rags to Riches by the Rag Company is a really, really good surfactant, which is phenomenal for doing your washing. It's absolutely brilliant. And so that's probably where I've been going wrong with my towels, because why am I using other towels on paints thinking they're damaging, and these and like bodywork towels and all the other towels, and they're not scratching, and this one is? That's because obviously, like I said, these twisted loop towels that are so popular with these twisted loops, they're the ones that are giving me all the problems. They're the ones that give me all these issues and all these problems. So this was like when I spoke to Maz when I got it out of the packet, I'm telling you now, these hello T-Bone Todd, how you doing, mate? These twisted loop towels that hold so much water, and the size of them as well, they're just going to get so heavy, and they can start doing damage. Rags to riches ain't bad, but it's nowhere near effective as Detail Co Renaissance. Well, all I can say is I haven't tested Detail Co Renaissance. And the people I know in the UK that have tested it, some of my other YouTube colleagues against Rags to Riches, said it weren't all that, unfortunately. They preferred Rags to Riches, but like I said, I don't know. Maybe the water where people are is different. You know, we have obviously our washing machines are plugged into the mains. If you've got high TDS water, I'm sure that doesn't help with washing towels and stuff. But yeah, I'll have to test it myself. But I recommend that recommendation is great. If anyone wants to come on tonight, feel free. The link will be down in the description because we never know how this live's going to go. So I'll share that with you right now. So if you want it, I'm going to put it right in the chat. You can come on and say hello and have your piece because I know that Riley's done a great video this week on decon shampoo. It's a great job on that one, Riley. If you haven't checked that out on his YouTube channel, feel free to put that in the description or in the comment section underneath, Riley, so people can go and do it. I've subscribed to you now. So going back to the drying towel scenario is having these twisted cut loops on one side, a TR loop on the other side. Great for doing glass. And so there is a train of thought when it comes to the glass process, actually, which I spoke with Maz and we was debating which way round or which, after talking we'll get there, Chris, my man. I'll bring it up on the screen for you. The discussion of when you do glass in the wash process, and Maz was saying it's best to do it last because if you wash your glass last in the wash process, you've got an opportunity then to dry it first and then increase that process of those things. If you wash your glass first, then you have the ability for that surfactant to stay around on the glass and then can cause you all sorts of issues and having to wipe it off in that process. So having that TR loop on one side and the twisted cut loop on the other side. And I know that looks very similar to the gauntlet from Rag Company, but I've put them side by side because I've got both towels. This is a lot shorter. And so the conversation around these loops, these twisted loop towels and how much damage I've done with them and obviously how they go hard over time and all that sort of stuff. So towels are consumables, but my biggest mistake of all this testing I've done is actually having my towels for too long and having more towels, having 5, 6, 7 towels in a basket that you can literally go with and seal them up would be absolutely amazing. Let me have a look. So let's bring Chris back up on there and have a look. Chris M says, what would be your process? Would you go sealant or wax for LSP? Personally, Chris, I don't really like putting waxes on, mate, if I'm honest. With the chemicals and the stuff that's coming out now with GT and all the other ranges, and my experience with CS and my experience with Sigma, it's just so much faster. If I'm honest, it's so much faster, and I've got some really, really cool content coming very, very soon on Chimera, and I know that a couple of lads have been using Chimera recently as well, and this is going to get a little bit controversial, so you guys can tell me, but it's going to be interesting because speaking to Maz, he said Chimera is even easier to use than CS, and it lasts even longer. So it's a difficult one, isn't it? When I'm doing like these YouTube videos on these products, because I was asking, does that have an impact on sales on the other product because the other product is a certain way? And he said, well, sort of yes and no, really. Chimera is about 45, 48 quid, 48 pounds, something like that. I think that's a trade to me, I think. And so obviously you've got CS, which is 18 pounds for 500 ml, and that goes miles, absolutely miles. So when you take a 50 ml bottle of Chimera for 48 quid, 56 quid, whatever it is, around that margin, and then you take like a CS that's 18 pounds, and you can get like, I mean, it's like almost like you prime the pad up with 3 panels, and we're going to get into the application process of CS in a second. We'll bring that up. We'll come back to the tools in a minute and bring Maz in. It's literally, yeah, literally mental. So those are those kind of little things that are going to be interesting to see how I go forward now with these little chemical processes and stuff, and see what's going on. So let's bring Maz in onto the screen. I'm not sure if we're able to hear him or not. I'm not sure if I've set it up properly. We'll find out. And Maz is talking about, obviously, the application of CS. And so this is a few years old, this development one.
Paul Dolden, I think he's many years of experience detailing cars and applying products. He applied it potentially the best, and he also had the advantage of watching the other guys apply the product.
Let me get into it. There we go. Fast forward here. I can talk for you, Maz. Don't worry if we can't hear you.
You don't paint your fence.
So obviously, when it comes to CS, a really good, obviously, good shake to start with. Make sure you give the bottle a damn good shaking.
It's important to first prime the pad.
What's the shelf life bottle? Well, there is a little train of thought when it comes to shelf life primarily when it's open. Is
prime. And
little top tip is cut the finger off your glove, put it over the bottle, and it should last you for quite a long time, to be honest, as long as you don't.
We typically say,
as long as you keep it coming, don't get it too warm and stuff, you should be fine.
Because when you're applying ceramic coatings, that's the way
what
you
he's
do it.
demonstrating
Now,
here
you
is
can apply it in circular,
basically
crosshatch,
how to apply it. And this is the best way of applying it. And I do like these Rag Company blocks. And so what he does is I'll just rewind this for you. Is he just basically applies the product to the pad first. So he literally primes up the pad first. Making sure that's fairly bottled. It's about 2 or 3 sprays, doesn't go too mad.
So
as you can see,
it's important to first prime the pad.
A couple of sprays on there just to get it primed up. There you go, just like you would with a
3 or 4 sprays. So as you can see, it's
and like I said, when you see it
and
working,
I'm going to do 1 spray on the panel that I'm going to be applying on.
So then just pops on 1 spray on the body, and then it starts to move it around.
Product from going down. So we typically say
I can't hear Maz on here, so I don't know why.
Because when you're applying ceramic coatings, that's the way you do it. Now you can apply it in circular, you can apply it in crosshatch. It doesn't really matter as long as you get even coverage. So here I'm just going to in straight lines.
I don't know why I can't hear him on here, mate. I don't know. Sorry, my apologies for that. Sorry, guys. So all he's doing now is just literally applying that on there like that, using that little block sponge, which is a great little way of doing it. Now, CS really does. Mad is loud. Is it still loud? Let me just turn him off then.
And there you go. It's as easy as that.
No, shh. Shush. There we go. Sorry, guys. Is that better? So, once he's what Maz and Roger say is with the GTCS is make sure you use an applicator, a block applicator to apply it. When I've tried to use it with a towel, what you'll end up doing is because it's quite a wet product, you'll end up smearing it everywhere, and you run the risk of not being able to level it properly. And so you can use Sigma with a towel, but I definitely think like these products are way better when you're applying them with a block applicator. I think just look, I just think across the board, these microfiber blocks are absolutely made for last stage protection. So yeah, so literally, Briley, he literally just used 3 sprays on the block, and then literally just sprayed 1 spray on the middle of the panel, and then just literally leveled it off from there. Literally just smeared it all on. And you'll find with CS, find that it goes a little hazy like a wax. And it starts to sweat and bead a little bit, actually, to be fair, which is quite nice. So what he's doing now is the really important bit, is basically just when you're leveling this product down, you're not trying to take off the product. You're just using no pressure with a short pile microfiber, like a pearl weave, and just literally just gently mopping up and leveling. I sometimes, honestly, like, it's probably a little bit against the grain, but I sometimes use the block to keep leveling and keep sort of thinning the product out a little bit. And obviously, once that's all level, you then what would Maz say once it's leveled is wait about 30-40 seconds, and then just literally it'll come off like a dream. It actually works a lot better on it works actually a lot better in certain circumstances than Sigma. Yeah, those wheels are absolutely brilliant, aren't they? To be honest with you, they look the nuts. And so you can use CS on the wheels. You can use it on the body. I wouldn't recommend it using it on the glass, to be honest with you. I did test this weekend on using it on glass, and while I managed to do it, it's not as friendly on the glass because of how much raw materials in it. It's really thick of raw material. You'll see the filling capabilities is insane. And so just buffing that off, and then what Maz is basically talking you through now is once you're doing the leveling process on the front wing, you can go on to the next panel and apply on that side, and then obviously come back and then finish off your final buff on the other side, which is quite a good little way of matching things up. But so far, yeah, it's the US is out of CS already. Jesus, they're just not ordering enough product, are they? Let's be honest. Such a shame. I apologize to you guys out there for this stuff, but like I said, Sigma again is such a great product, and you know, on the labels on the bottles of Sigma, what it will tell you is to do 2 coats. And so while it's such a nice water-based ceramic sealant, it seriously is, guys. Like, I'm not here to sell you this. I'm just here to tell you this. It's so thick. Like, if you used other products in that lineup, which I don't really want to call out other brands, but other products in its category, and I'm making sure it's its category, the thickness of it. And I was talking to Maz about this and saying how thick it is. Like, it's like full fat milk compared to semi-skim milk or half fat or whatever you call it in America. I was like, why have you done why have you done it like this? Because there was a lot of, obviously, like, Sigma is on its version 3 right now, and so there's been a lot of not issues, a lot of feedback on Sigma where it became too hard to take on and off. And so while it was stouter, it was a harder hybrid to put on. And I sort of said to him, why have you made a product like that it is a little bit more difficult? And he said, well, we're trying to make its best in class. And so this is an interesting topic because it makes me understand a little bit more the mentality of garage therapy, where they're basically saying, we don't want to make average products that can do average everything. We want to make products that when we say what they do on the bottle, they do as they are. And since I've started like working on these protections, because like I said, to repeat myself, I had my own ceramic coating for a long time, and I used to work with a ceramic coating company. So I used to use my own coatings. So I haven't used products like CS and all these other products from Garage Therapy until now. So I'm experiencing them at the same time as you. So, you know, all these things. And so this is why I'm sort of giving you the feedback on it, because I haven't really played with them enough. And so while I've been delving into all the chemicals and stuff and working with the chemicals, these are those little nitpicks that I'm living with it all at the same time. Hello, Graham. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for subscribing to the Patreon as well, buddy. Appreciate it. And any questions you want in there, mate, feel free to hit in the chat on the Patreon chat. So I'm actually experiencing these products at the same time, which I quite like, actually, to be honest with you. I quite like that we're experiencing these processes together and sharing it together. And it's been interesting, actually, some of the feedback on the House of Rags channel and stuff from people, that real knowledgeable people that are really putting the GT products for their paces, giving them a real roasting, if that makes sense, is really really good, actually, because people are really delving into the science and the technology, which is great. But like I said, CS really gives you 5 months of protection with 2 coats. Now, what I will say to you is that's depending on mileage. That's depending on how the panel was prepped. Have you gone through a machine polishing process? All these steps are really vital to the perfect surface before you apply the product. And so I think 5 months is a really, really safe 5 months, if that makes sense. I think you're guaranteed to get 5 months in quite a bad scenario. Don't quote me on that, but it depends on your application process. But I think, like I said, if you've got a car that's kept in a garage, it doesn't see much water, you wash it on a regular basis, you could also, in that situation, you could also use Sigma V3 to top CS, and like I said, do the triple stack with and then use Sigma to protect like CS, and then use your quick detailer after every wash, which lasts you 2 weeks. I think if you stick in that process, you could probably get CS to do. I think you could get CS to do a year, and so double coating it, and so it's so easy to work, and all these products are very compatible to stack on each other. So again, it's another GT system, another framework of design that basically means you can have some fun if you like us, and I like the guys that are in the chat this tonight. I'm sure you guys are obviously all like me, and you get excited to put some more protection down. You know, it's great to have a stacking system, and like I said, I always think that I've got to do some more videos on this on the little nuances with using Sigma. With Sigma is like a drying aid after I've decontaminated the paint. So when I've gone through the decontamination process of stripping off my previous protection through the whole decon wash, then I need to do a test on using Sigma on a difficult paint and using it, water it down at 1:1, because I think when you water it down at 1:1, what you're going to be able to do is use it as a drying aid, and that's going to set up the panel for you. Because in the situations I've had with Sigma, when I've had clients come in that I've used Sigma on, which I've still bloody love Sigma, by the way, and I'm going to get into the glass in a minute because I've had some unbelievable results on glass recently. Setting it up with a mild application means that I'm less likely to get any problems with buffing off, because it's very compatible with itself. And like I said, I saw we had some comments before on the House of Rags about rinseless leaving stuff behind on the panels. Quick detailer, just rinseless and all this sort of stuff will quickly remove any of those high spots if you want. And we're not talking about a ceramic coating here. How you doing, Conway? You well, mate? How you doing, bud? Thanks for coming on. We appreciate you tonight. Any guys that listen, I'm going to put it up again in the chat. If anyone wants to come on and talk to me, I know that some of you guys have been playing with the products as well recently. You've done some videos. You might have some questions. Feel free to come on and say hello. More the merrier. We can get up to 8 people on this. So if you want to come and have a chat, just put it in the comment section. Come and jump on. Ask a question. Talk detailing. Have anything out there. We love you all. We love all the community. So feel free to come on anytime you like. And so so the QD is going to give you 1 to 2 weeks, and it's such an easy. It's got the nanotechnology in it. You can use it also as a drying aid. So this sort of stacking process with CS, Sigma, and all this sort of stuff is absolutely awesome. No problem, Conway. You can come on whenever you like, mate. Absolutely no problem. You don't even need a camera, mate. It works really well on your phone. This software is immense. All you got to do is just download the Riverside app, mate, and it will jump you straight in. So don't worry, you can come on whenever you want, mate. This is your show, boys and girls. This is for you. This isn't this is a community show, so you can come and talk about anything you like, detailing wise, and have a chat and jump in. We all see your names on all the chats and all the conversations. So having face to faces, old school, man oh man, just like Riley did last week, and the week before we had the big man on, and so yeah, so it's all good. So we're going to go into going back to some of the tools, which I hope to see that you're going to get some of the tools coming soon on the House of Rags, which we are obviously excited about because I think you're going to really enjoy these tools. And I think, like I said, if you're getting into the garage therapy ecosystem, what you're going to find is you're going to have some really cool. Like I said, I've just got so used to using the whole thing. I was about to ask, what's the no to lowest protection product in the GT line as a dry? Let's go bring this up on the screen. Let's bring that up for you. Let me just bring that up, Conway. Sorry, bud. I was about to ask, what's the no to lowest protection product in GT there is for a drying aid? I'd say basically you could use Sigma at 1:1, mix it down to 1:1 and use it as a drying aid. And you could also use the quick detailer, mate. And like I said, Sigma is going to give you about, I think Sigma will probably give you about 4 weeks if you mix it 1:1. Depending on the paint, depending on all the variables that all you guys are really aware of. But like I said, QD is going to last you 2 weeks, so it should last you till your next wash, which is pretty cool. So some of the other tools as well we've got in there, the garage for every lineup, we've got the drying towel. And now this is something that's going to be you're going to love, boys, because this you're probably going to notice. I don't know if you guys are going to notice this or not, but I will explain it to you. So you know that decon is purple, right? The decon system is all purple. The maintenance colors are all blue, and the coating colors are all grey. There you go. A little bit of information for you. And I didn't know if you noticed this, but all the chemicals as well. So all the chemicals are relatable to their pH system as well. So when you look at decon wash, you can see it's purple because it's a pH 14. You've got the pH neutral snow foam, which is obviously, sorry, snow foam is at pH of 12, but it's in the maintenance range, which is blue. You've got the car shampoo, which is pH of 8. So that's close to, so all these little things, all the little systems which make, obviously, all this stuff makes life a lot easier. Wait, Jonny, alive on a Saturday night? Oh, you know me, Greg. I don't mess about, mate, if it's a Friday or a Saturday. No worries, Chris. Like I said, here when you need it, mate. Any questions, you can always message me from any of the chats and networks, any videos, anything you like, mate. Don't worry. Thanks for coming on as always, mate. Appreciate it. Who is in the chat tonight? We've got 9 people, 10 people in the chat. Can we all just have a little chat in there and just see who's in the chat tonight? So I can see some familiar faces, which is what we love. So it's always good to see who you are. Also love to know where you're all from as well. That'd be interesting. See if there's any UK people in the house, sat in bed, chilling out, watching the live. So yeah, all these towels are basically all under the same system. So you've got purple for zero, blue for maintenance, and the final towel for obviously sealants, buffing, and all that sort of stuff for your ceramic coatings or whatever it is, and obviously the GT Pearlweed towel. So they're fantastic towel. I think one of the sleeper towels in that setting is the glass towel. Now it's a bit £4 for a glass towel. Somebody feels a little bit steep, but honestly, when you pair it up with the glass cleaner, and the glass cleaner is I wonder if it will say on here. One Glass has actually won the mega test for the Pro Detailing magazine. So I don't know if you guys read the Pro Detailing magazine online or what you get, but it was an award-winning product. So the glass cleaning product, absolutely, yeah, the glass towel, really, really cool little tool. Very, very short microfiber towel. It's like I said, it's very, very good, and it's aggressive, and it's completely safe on grass, and it gives you a really good ability to lift off the dirt and get rid of that grease and grime off, if that makes sense. A bit like a pearl weave towel for, you know, removing obviously coatings and panel wiping and all that sort of stuff. Absolutely fantastic. But obviously, mostly make sure you're obviously washing these towels properly. You want to make sure that they're washed as regularly as you possibly can, because building up grease and all that sort of stuff when you're doing glass is an absolute no-no. So yes. So what else we got? Briley. Briley's from North Carolina. Graham's from sunny Scotland. Come on, the boys. Bit of the UK massive in there, Graham. Loving that. Let me just bring this up. Greg's in the house as well. Greg was on episode 1. Love a bit of Greg. We're going to have to get Graham on one day. Come on, Graham. Don't forget. Hit that button, mate. You can come on and have a little chat. Hey, Brandon. I just got the coating. Ooh, I just missed. Hey, Brandon. I just got the coat and my GT 0 and 1s on Wednesday. I have a few cars over the next week for family event. It won't happen until the week. Oh, okay. At least you got all your tools, though, Greg. At least you got your tools. You're now getting into the GT gadgets, the GT gizmos. That's what we want, boy. That's what we want. What else is there this week? I'm trying to think about what else we had a chat about this week. So these are the tools. Obviously, we've got all the bits and pieces here. Microfibers. So yeah, like I said, I've been using the House of the Rail Company stuff for a long, long time. And the last one is obviously the GT Plush microfiber applicator pad. I don't know if you've seen me use this when I've been using it with obviously the dash serum and obviously with trim. Super plush, really easy to use, gets into all your nooks and crannies. Just finding just a real pleasure. I don't know if you guys, when you've got the whole when you've got the whole system to work with, all the products together. I've got to be honest, I'm finding it really difficult, boys. And I did a little video tonight when I was driving in my car, and I'm not sure if I'm going to post it or not yet because I was going through the process. I'm going to, if no one's jumping on tonight, we'll keep it a little bit short and sweet. But I just want to finish off with a few conversations. You guys in America, you remind me of me when I first got the Garage Therapy products. And I set out to actually expose the YouTubers when it came to garage therapy, because what was happening over here with the garage therapy stuff is that I was working with other brands at the time, and I wasn't out there to be disruptive or anything to garage therapy, but my friends were using it all the time and raving about it. The problem I had with it, right, is that when I was watching it back in the day before I used it, was I saw a lot of YouTubers that didn't detail or weren't professionals raving about it. And I think this, for me, decreased the validity of the product's strength and capabilities, because it wasn't being used by professionals. You know, like when you see Ammo New York using his products in his settings and stuff, you kind of like get on board with it because you go, the geezer knows what he's talking about. And like, you know, Apex as well, refinishing and like other, you know, Pan is obviously a good detailer as well, you know, does this stuff. So it gives you some validity. So I decided to buy the products and sort of delve into it. And I did a little podcast with Maz to have a chat with him about the products and stuff, because I like to get really deep into the weeds. But I'm seeing the same process with you guys buying the products over there. When I first started to use them with Decon shampoo and all these kind of things, I was like, I liked it, but I didn't know what I liked about it. I just was really impressed with the different dilution ratios as a pre-wash and using it in its intended format. And that was to process accelerate the decon process using it as a pre-wash, as a snow foam, and then using it as a contact wash. I haven't used it in a pump sprayer to start with for long periods after that. So I'm starting to see these similarities to my process with the chemicals, and I love what Brandon's done with it, and he's on it straight away. I love to see what Greg's doing with it as well. Really getting involved and really understanding it. And so, like, there's so many things that I thought when I said on the first podcast with Maz, I said, is there anything that the YouTubers have not spoke about yet that I could and I listened to it tonight actually. I said, is there anything that the YouTubers have missed or you haven't given them any knowledge on that I could shed some light on as a professional? And so my job then was to try and find nooks and crannies and bits and pieces. And as I've started to unbolt this whole system, what I've realized is Garage Therapy's IP, they've been so protective of the IP for so long because of the fact that a lot of what you're not aware of in America is a lot of the chemical companies in this country, even the biggest chemical companies, are following the Garage Therapy model because they're seeing the success of it through whether it's social media, everything else. Will shampoos, decon shampoos weren't really that sexy and they weren't really that important in the early days. And we're saying the same thing with rinseless with you guys in America over here right now. That rinseless is becoming really popular with Young bringing out rinseless recently. But Garage Therapy brought out their rinseless. But before Garage Therapy brought out their rinseless, we only had Optimum and Absolute. So there's some real stuff going on here that Garage Therapy been pushing the envelope. And I said to him, why have you been so, like I said earlier in the podcast, why have you been so risky with making products so strong at sometimes that they could cause damage? That they said when they were testing products on the market, they realized that they weren't really doing. They were trying to do everything rather than just one thing. And I think we've got Brandon's back in the room. Brandon, can you hear me all right? Let me see if I can bring him up on the screen. 1 second. Let me just drop this down. I just wonder why. Stop sharing this. Stop sharing. Hello, buddy. Can you hear me all right? Have you got your mic on, Brandon?
Yes, sir. I think so.
My headphones aren't working tonight, so I'm going to figure out what's working is. Let me just change my settings on here, mate, just in case it's me.
Okay, maybe it's me.
1 second.
Hey, Conway, can you hear me? Maybe it's me.
Not sure why. Change my mic. Where have I got speakers? Speakers. Can you hear me though, Brandon?
I can hear you.
You can hear me.
Let me try something different here.
I don't know what's going on here, mate, tonight. I can't hear a goddamn thing. We could be doing it through like.
Oh, Graham says he can hear us both. Okay. Yeah, good.
Why I can't hear you? That's good tonight, isn't it, eh? That's a good job, isn't it? I can see you.
I'll type my question. It's fine.
But I can't bloody hear you. You're definitely what is going on? I have no idea, Brandon.
Well,
I don't know what I've done tonight, mate. But it's not letting me change my settings. Speakers. Oh, hang on. Let me change the speakers. Have we got you now?
Yeah. So I was thinking your YouTube volume might be off.
I can't hear you. Can everyone else hear Brandon? I can hear you both. Everyone can hear you, but we can't hear each other. I'll have to end up bloody phoning you up, mate. On the phone. Why can't I? Why won't? Have I pressed mute or something? No. Oh dear, Brandon, I'm a shocker. I'm having a letdown. Do you know what? I'm using a new webcam tonight, so maybe everyone can hear me, can't they? Audio, come on. All settings. I can't. I don't know, Brandon. This is a letdown, mate. This is an absolute letdown.
It's okay, man.
I gotcha.
Next week.
Gotcha. I've gotcha.
Okay. Awesome.
It's on the wrong TV for some reason, but I've no idea. But I've got you. I can hear you loud and clear.
Awesome. Yeah, glad I could help.
Sorry, mate. I apologise to the chat for that bad bugger up. Go on.
So, tried glass cleaner this week for the first time.
Go for it, because that is going to be controversial, glass cleaner, because that is a real funny one to play with. That is, because
Well, I want to know what your process is, because I used my classical, my P&S glass cleaning process, where I'm just basically boxing, and I'm using the microfiber applicator like you were talking about, the foam block, right? Yeah. So I'll go through and just basically box it and clean that way, and then come out with my glass towel. And I didn't really love it with that process. So I'm curious what the real process that you enjoy is with that.
I honestly, it pissed me off for ages, that product.
Okay, good. I'm glad it wasn't just me.
No, it pissed me off for a while, and then when you get it, you can't not see it. It's so weird. So this was quite a long conversation with Maz on this topic, because you've obviously got Built Hamburg out there with their product, which is very high in specific raw materials, and it smells, it's bloody strong, and so this is kind of a very blend of IPA, like I don't want to say IPA because that's not what it is, but just bear with me with that. But it's surfactant based, and obviously got an IPA blend with it, which basically will obviously degrease as well. So the process is really interesting, actually, because the way it was an award-winning glass cleaner for a reason, and that was because the way it works is, if you've noticed, it's got quite a lot of wetting ability. So when you use it, it kind of wets the surface and stays wet for quite a long time, which is its amazing cleaning. It's got huge cleaning capabilities. And so what's happening with your glass cleaning process now is, if you've got any dirt on the glass, because it's such a good glass cleaner, what it will do is it will pull it off the glass, put it onto your towel, and then you'll start smearing it around, right? So the more towels, the better, right? So what I do is I have the short pile glass cleaning cloth by GT, and I wet that down. I basically prime that up, and I use that then to wipe, and I spray obviously a bit on the glass, and I use that to level off onto the glass and give it into all the corners and stuff. And luckily enough, it doesn't flash off quite quickly. What I then use is a second towel to then go around and mop it all up. Now, you might end up with a few streaky spots on there. You might, depending on what it is, but it will really rip off a lot of dirt. And so one of the tips that Maz has and I've been using is using a third cloth or QD to just go round and just give the glass a thing. Because what I'm finding as well, and this is interesting, I was going to go into this tonight on the conversation, was I've been using Sigma on the glass for my customers, because I've been really looking for different glass coatings. And what happens with GT glass cleaner is, I don't know if you notice when you start to use it, is the glass goes really tacky, like really, and then the cloth's not moving. Yeah, you can't
Yep.
get that smooth slickness to the glass, and a lot of glass coatings as well. This was moving into the Sigma sort of conversation. A lot of the glass coatings that you get are quite tacky. The glass doesn't ever go slick, and you think it doesn't make sense if you've got a rubber windscreen wiper going across. Why would you want something to be, that's where you get wiper, like a lot of coatings like G Technic sort of, you get quite a bit of judder. So I've been using Sigma on the glass. Oh my god, the two customers I've tested it on, I tested one with QD and one with Sigma, and they both have identical results. The only difference is the longevity, and they've been basically over 50 mile an hour. They've not had to use their wipers on the motorway, basically. So, and the slickness, for me, I was on the phone to Matt saying, why would I bother? So I think a couple of these things is with the glass cleaner, buddy, is once you've got the slickness on the glass from protection, the cleanability is going to be helping. But I think you've got to do a lot of stuff. And if you end up, it depends on where you live, the contamination, all that sort of stuff. But like magic erasers and stuff are really good for getting into. I actually have a magic eraser. It's like those foam blocks, if you know what I mean, that like people use for doing trim and stuff, that to basically clean the glass with as well. And so what you're basically finding, Brandon, in a nutshell, is probably the glass cleaners pulling off dirt that you didn't know was there before, if I'm honest. And so that squeakiness and stuff. And so once you get it, once you start doing it the glass a couple of times with glass cleaner, yeah, you'll definitely do it. And if you watch Maz in his maintenance video, which while I'm talking to you, so you talk me through your process with PNS and stuff, and let me know what you what was your.
Well, I mean, for me, I I use PNS process because that's where I learned it at a training, there for ceramic. But basically, they use one of these little guys and just saturate it, right?
Yeah.
And they're saturating it and then doing sort of boxing it and then going back and forth. And the thing that I like about it is, now unfortunately you got to use a ton of glass cleaner, but it's okay with PNS because it's almost free, right? So
is it really?
It's super cheap. But what you're left with is a ton of glass cleaner on the glass. The dirt generally is on here, and then I come back with an FTW and just mop up. And I noticed with the GT, there were some streaks, but they didn't look like typical streaks. They look like the surfactant, right? And what I think is, I think you triggered it because you said it's pulling off dirt, right? And I noticed this the other night when I finished that decon at 10-1 on my wife's van. Like, I didn't actually dry it with any QD. I blew the car dry at that point. And what was fascinating to me is the paint felt like something I haven't felt before with a coated car. It felt grabby. And I attribute that to how clean it was, right? Because
that's right.
Normally,
that's right.
Yeah, it was shocking, and I think the glass cleaner might be doing the same thing, where the glass is just cleaner than I'm used to. Because I also use QD on not, I just got the GT QD, but I've always used Detail Co's Lightning or Phoenix Titan or even Beadmaker back in the day, right? I've always used that on my glass, and it's always there. But once you wash it with Decon, nothing is there, and now you've got glass that is just so clean that it's not gonna slide. And I think that's what you're talking about. You're throwing, QD on there to make it, or Sigma on there to make it slick again.
I'm doing two things. I know that I've basically got insurance. So just watch Maz quickly with the glass cleaner. Yeah, this is years ago, by the way. So he's saying, look, in the bottom text it says the front windscreen gets cleaned with glass cleaner using different weave cloths to remove. So they didn't have their cloths at the time, right? So what he's doing is just spraying this on quite liberally, right? Then obviously just going in, nothing too particular, but just obviously left and right, up and down, and just working it. And you can you see it flashing already because of the cloth, right? So you can see it's wetting really, really well. Yeah, you can see it wetting. How he can see how he keeps going over it. It sort of stays wet for a long time, and then as soon as he walks away, this is where you're at now with these marks. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what he's got here, he's got a bigger weave cloth, yeah, to basically mop up. Do you know what I mean? So, and that's the key. And so now he's got. You see how he's using Sigma now on the side glass, yeah, just to basically as a final buff. And so that for me is glass. I think glass is super tricky now. What I will say to you is that I'm going to be doing a glass cleaning video this week on the different steps of doing glass, because it's actually funny you come on with that question, because I'm actually going to be using Decon shampoo. This is spoiler alert. I'm going to be using Decon shampoo with a squeegee. I'm going to be using a steamer for glass as well. I'm going to really delve into we're going to be claying the glass, polishing the glass. We're going to be doing all this stuff. So I think what's happening with your glass, okay, just thinking about it as I'm playing it through in my head, watching Maz, I think you've got contamination maybe bonded to the glass. What's happening is glass cleaners pulling it off. You know, in window tinting companies, what they'll do is they'll actually use a razor and stuff to actually pull off the contaminants on the glass. So what's happening is you're moving contamination around most of the time. And so that's why you're getting that streakiness, is because that's why we would say we use a lot of towels to keep, because that's what glass is doing. That's what glass is all about, really. It's such a bugger surface, if you know what I mean, to do that stuff. So that's why I love QD or rinseless, if I'm honest. Is a great little, like, you know, like when you ceramic coat and you do like the first towel, second towel, and sometimes for insurance you use a third towel. Like, I just think sometimes with that, but I don't really change my first towel, if I'm honest. I will keep, like you said, that block, that method you're talking about. I like that method. I like that a lot, because I should have made sure that my wash process was diligent enough that the glass should be clean. I'm only polishing the glass with the glass cleaner, apart from the inside. And the internals of the glass shouldn't be as dirty unless you're vaping or smoking or anything like that, if that makes sense. So it's interesting you've had that feedback, because I kept putting that glass cleaner down because it got on my nerves, and I kept picking up my original one, but I wasn't getting the same. When you got the clean right, the clean was right. Do you get what I mean? And so it's interesting that you've had that exactly the same thing. And what's going to happen is once you do it and you get it, it's so hard not to. You'll just have it locked in, and you just won't. Then you're going to go on to other glass cleaners, and then they're just not going to feel like they're going to clean.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think the other glass cleaner, you know, it definitely gets the visible dirt and oil off, but I also think that it still feels slick when I dry it, right? So it's not getting everything off that your glass cleaner is getting off. And like Conway said, it's finally rained here today, and I have Classy Glassy for about 6 months, and fantastic glass coating. Like prior to that, I tried. I don't know. It was one of those Swiss brands that they were hyping up with the diamonds or whatever, and it lasted
Yeah, I know what you mean.
2 months. I did not like it at all. So anyway, yeah, I like the Classy Glassy too.
I literally had this conversation with Maz yesterday. I've said it 3 times in this live stream already, but I'll say it again. We were discussing products on the market, and we were talking about specifically about certain products doing a certain job. And so, like, quick detailer being a quick detailer, Sigma being a hybrid. How you doing, Andrew? All right, mate? CS being a CS. And so, while I was saying, like, with their versions of Sigma, where they would made it really stout, but it then became harder to take off, you know, and then they made it too weak, and it was sort of like, you know, like, and V3 is like, so I think the V1 had loads of gloss, and then V2 had was harder to get off. So like it was like, but it lasted longer, if that makes sense. And so they were trying to find a balance, and V3 seems to have tickled all bases. So if you've got Sigma, I can't wait for you to try it on the glass. I think if you've got QD as well, I think you're gonna go bananas, because if you're gonna do the glass when you're washing, I'll be honest with you. Like, once you've cleaned the glass, if the glass has been prepped properly, meaning clay barred, machine polished, and then you Sigma coat it, I can't see why you'll have any issues with the glass cleaner. Then I think this is the issues you're talking about, right? Is the same frustrations I have with YouTube content creators complaining about a smeary product on paint, because a smeary product on paint is really Vaz is in there. Look, Vaz is come on. Look. He's in the chat on it. Look. We've had a chat about this a week because he's been testing with V2 glass cleaner, and he's just been having so much difficulty improving V1, because it just where they're testing for certain things. I'm not going to be talking about the testing, but where they're trying different additives in there, it's negating the best things it does, like what V1 does. Do you get what I mean? And so the same with other products. And so it's the same as Decon shampoo. There's no version 2 because version 1 works really, really well. But going back to Maz's, what we're talking about with Maz is, if you prep the paint properly, what I've been prepping paint properly with machine polishing, clay barring, and everything else, Sigma works a bloody dream. It just is so easy. It just goes on and off. But if you've got dirty paint, it will smear. It will smear like buggery. And I've been on the phone to Maz doing it. And when it smears, I've got a workaround for that now, that I just literally have 5:12 ratio of rinseless, and I just go around and just high spot it off with rinseless or QD off. And I'm happy, because it's like I can be a little bit more sloppy because I know I've got an insurance. I think you start to panic when you can't get something off if you haven't got a knack for it. Do you get what I mean? And so there are some paints that obviously some of these products don't like, and so there's a workaround. There's got to be a workaround and stuff.
I think you're right, Johnny. I think you know, based on what I felt on the paint after blowing dry after decon, it was so grabby because it was so clean. And I think the glass was the same way, and I'm just not used to that. And so, you know, I think I just need to be, you know, it's a new system for me. So I appreciate you helping me with
that. No, I'm with you. You're noticing how bloody grabby it is. The glass is really tacky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, and then you're trying to clean the glass, and your cloth's folding over, and like you're getting annoyed, and you're trying to put more glass cleaner on, which is why, like I said, that wetting capability, I think it's really is in the trick. And honestly, in the testing that Maz has done with glass cleaners, the best method we both agree on, right, for it all is the window tinting squeegees.
With the glass cleaner?
With the glass cleaner,
or with
yeah.
decon. So you're going to do that video, right?
I'm going to do the video because I think, like you said with decon, I think, like I said, because the reason why I'm doing decon is because I want to set it, I want to prep it, I want to prep the paint, if that makes sense. So I want to prep the glass like I would do, like I could use decon. I'm going to give the prep procedure, but it's also like there's different steps. If you've got this problem, you can solve it by doing this, if that makes sense. And so, but I would say on what you're using at the moment, I would definitely say a magic eraser or a squeegee with glass cleaner is going to, like, I think that even that's if you've got contamination, that's going to trump all of it, if that makes sense. And so, what Maz is saying is true. That sometimes what happens is as well is that when you've got glass clean on your towel, if those towels aren't clean, proper clean, then the glass cleaner will activate whatever dirt's in the towel and then transfer back onto the glass as well. Does that make sense? Because it's that bloody good. Do you get what I mean? So it is a little bit of like eeny, meeny, miny, mo process of elimination. And all we want for glass is it to be. We're by that time with the detail, we're pissed off anyway. We just want to get it done. We was in love with. Do you know what I mean? We was in love with it, and now we're like we want to get the glass. Ain't fun to do, is it? It's just annoying because it's like, you know. But rinseless, I've been using rinseless because on the glass that I've prepped on my vehicles that is now machine polished and perfect, I can actually use rinseless in a Tornado gun, and it rinses, and I can switch it over to drying really quickly. But that's a different ball game, and I've got spotless free water and all that sort of stuff. What else was Maz saying? Oh, Graham was in there talking about he's talking to Graham. They're currently working. Look, this is the conversation I had with Maz the other day, right? Is that they're currently working on a glass sealant, but from the stuff we're seeing or I'm seeing with Sigma, I'm almost like I said to Maz the other day. I don't think I've been using G-Technic glass sealants now because they're like 2-year coatings. And since I've been using Sigma on a glass, I'm like, I don't know. For the amount of time it takes to put that on and off, why am I even bothering? Because half the fun is for us is installing in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the bit we look forward to. So what's groundbreaking for me is my customers coming back with me with the data. You know, I've said I've put something on your glass. I'm not telling you what it is. Can you tell me how it's performing? And that's what's been quite what's been important. And like Conway says, right, the glass does make or break the detail. And I definitely think like I prefer doing glass in darker light where you can have a light on the back side, like when you've got a light on the other side of it and you can see everything up. Because like I said, those rubbers and stuff where grease gets in as well, as soon as you just touch the corners of the rubbers around the windows, anything can transfer and stuff. So, but yeah, I watched the decon video, mate. Talk me through about the process a bit. Because you're really enjoying that chemical at the moment, didn't you?
Well, I'll tell you, I did have a little bit of I had a coating on the trim. Not like a full blown coating, but it's kind of like a wipe on coating from a US company, and it's been performing fantastically until I hit it with that MS, and that spotted it. Even though I sprayed it off as quickly as I could, so I was expecting decon. I wanted to test decon, right?
You're enjoying that product at the moment, because it's multifaceted.
Well, I was shocked that it pulled so much dirt off of this vehicle because like I said, I hit it hard with this stuff that has the big corrosive sticker on it, right?
Yeah.
So I did basically hot water like you suggest. And I threw in about.
Oh, you did it with hot water. Yeah, they're gonna get a hit high. That's pro mode. That's pro mode.
Well, hot water with I put a gallon of distilled and sorry, not distilled. I actually used non-distilled because I wanted hot, and then I threw in 10-to-1 decon, which is probably a lot, but I really wanted. This was after I experienced the the issue with the contamination on the hood, so I wanted to see if decon would eat some more of it off. And I was genuinely like I said, I wasn't planning on shooting any video, but it was so insane. I just whipped my phone out and I had to get that on camera because I couldn't believe it. It just blows me away. And like I said, whenever I was done, and I went around with. So this is IK Foamer battery powered, right? IK Foamer Pro 12 or whatever.
Oh, great with decon in it, doesn't it?
Yeah. And after I was done, I rinsed it, and what was fascinating to me is exactly what you and Maz said, that the stuff starts falling off at 5 minutes. I don't
Yeah.
know how you do that, but it does, and so it's a good visual cue to say, okay, it's time to rinse. I rinsed off um, with my 25-degree nozzle, and then blew it dry because I wanted to look at the surface after that. I didn't put any QD or anything on it. And it shocked me how just what the surface felt like after that. Because again, when I wash a coated car and come in, if I don't put anything on it, the surface is still reasonably slick. After decon, it's not slick until you put something on it, QD or whatever. And to me, that tells me that it's cleaning stuff off that nothing else is cleaning off.
Well, to follow up from our last chat, Brandon, is that when I spoke to Maz and he had a listen to what we were talking about, because I thought I clipped it up obviously because it's a great video. What he said was, in that other situation, because we talked about what's to do with the coating and contamination, he said, well, in a yearly update or a yearly service, when it comes to stuff, you would use decon shampoo. And so what he said is why decon shampoo exists is because in that scenario where the coating starts to become clogged and become a bit of a, can start to see signs of wear and tear, that it will actually pull off the contamination. So what you're visually seeing now from dirt coming off is what it would start to do. And if you're starting to use decon on this car that's been coated, and you're seeing obviously the wheels come back and stuff coming back, you're starting to see how much residual dirt was probably still baked onto the paint through heat cycling and seasonal changes and all sorts of stuff. So that's what decon was for. And he actually said that would have been the perfect purpose for, sort of, like I said, pre-washing with it, contact washing with it, snow foaming with it, those kind of things would have actually eventually broke all that down. So it's interesting that you're still getting this feedback, and it's a hard product to beat, isn't it? You can see why they took so long to bring out other products, because it's so hard to beat.
Yeah, it's really incredible. But one of the things that I wanted to ask you, I appreciate your dilution chart that you threw out the other day. But what I'm curious about is, like, so I plan, now that I've polished the hood and recoated it, like the white is different now, right? So I'm probably just going to polish the whole thing again and throw a coating on it. And so if you've got a freshly coated vehicle, how frequently do you decon it? My snow foam is on the way, but how frequently do you decon it, and what is your dilution for that frequency?
So it's a great question, by the way, because in that scenario, decon shampoos, it depends on the length. Depends on the length of coating to start with. I'm not going to go too much into this with the bits and pieces, because, like I said, I think Maz's, like, some of the stuff we discussed this week just opened my head into a whole another ball game, which me and Maz really need to start getting onto it. And Eddie's in the house. Big shout out to Eddie's in there as well. Feel free to jump on, Eddie boy. The link is in the chat, mate. If you want to come and say hello, more the merrier. We could always come and have a chat. So I would say, look, let's just base this on Cerberus on a 3-year coating, right? So what's going to happen is after the first year, you're washing the car. I would say every 3 months, I would wash it with DMS, right? Because DMS is such a great product for breaking down bits and pieces. Maz is in there. Look, he's on it now. Look, you got Maz on it. Look, you can see him now. Look. Let me bring that up for you. But you know what you've got in the you get both organic and inorganic times. You ideally need both alkaline and acid. So yeah. So in an ideal world, you'd sort of like we'd rather say the 2 pH system where you've got an acid and an alkali system, right? I think the judgment comes when you're talking about managing a coating, right? Is if you've got CS, what you would do is you would manage it with, you put your ceramic coating on, you'd probably in the garage therapy ecosystem, you would probably use Cerberus, right? You'd coat the bonnet with Cerberus and you'd top it with Chimera. After you've got those two products on there, you ain't going to need to touch that for about a year. But as a maintenance, ideally, you'd probably use a quick detailer. You could top it with Sigma if you wanted to. You can even top it with CS if you wanted to, depending on what you're getting. But it would be a bit excessive for the first year because those two products do the bits and pieces. Now, if you haven't washed the car for a long period of time, which is never going to happen to you, Brandon, but let's say people do, then you're probably going to get clogging. And so then by the years come up, you would then go through, you could use a alkaline decon shampoo and then wash with DMS as a final rinse. And so that kind of process, and you're going to enjoy that process at the same time as well, because it's like those two sets. Eddie boy, hello, darling. Can you hear me all right, Eddie?
And I get joined.
Hey, nice shirt, EC.
How you doing, mate? Welcome to the Jonny Shiell radio station live.
Thanks for being on so late. Isn't it like midnight over there?
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, but we're all good. We love you
Johnny,
boys over there. You guys are way more fun than us UK guys, mate. Us UK guys are miserable.
Dude, Johnny, you would be the best drug dealer in the world. You never sleep.
I know, mate. What do you mean? Best? I am. Garage therapy is just the front, mate. I'm just a ringer. So we're really enjoying I'm doing these chats every week now, Eddie, because it's just great to sort of mix in with the community and stuff and get these questions in there about different bits and pieces, because I can't make the videos fast enough, and so engaging with questions all the time, because I see the lives you do with Jamie, and you're not working with these products 24/7, obviously. No. And it's not your fault. It's just you've got loads of products to work with. So I'm trying to help out with Q&As and FAQs and all that sort of stuff. And Brandon's come up with some great little bits and pieces. So Brandon, so Cerberus and Chimera are going to be a great coating for you. But like I said, even if you don't use those coatings, using CS as a topper for any ceramic coating is going to be absolutely ideal. And like I said, you're going to get out of it. So I would just say protection for the first year. Just keep protecting it, unless you're seeing some visual degradation on the coating, which I don't think with your wash process, the diligence you're going to take, I think you're going to sail through that first year with no problems. And so then at the end of that first year, then you would do a really good pre-wash. You definitely wouldn't need to clay the vehicle. Please don't get out any synthetic clays or any clays at all when you've got a coating on the car.
Don't piss Johnny off, dude. You do that, you're gonna piss Johnny off.
I'm gonna lose my mind.
You heard last time about it.
But you would go through a very safe procedure of decon 10-1 pre-wash, spray on the vehicle. Then you can rinse that off and top it up with decon as a snow foam, contact wash with decon, iron oxide, tar and glue, and then obviously DMS to finish off with to rinse everything down nicely. That's as much as you need to do. And then you would re-top Chimera on top of your coating.
I got a question for you, Johnny, on that respect. Like you're talking about like the maintenance wash. We can still use like DMS and car shampoo every 3 months, right? Because you're going to tackle
100%
inorganic versus organic. Sometimes you get the mineral spots. We're
dealing with puddles in the rain. You're dealing with could be 2 weeks between washes. It could be, the transporter I had on recently that came in. You're always going to see flooding at the bottom of the panel when it's dirty. So, like I said, those areas specifically. My mistake I made with coatings, by the way, I've been speaking to Maz specifically, like in detail for the last 2 weeks about the coatings. My biggest mistake was when I used to see a car come in and the bottom panels on Range Rovers and all these sort of cars would start to look a little flat. I used to put water spot remover on them, or I would use an iron oxide like within the first 3 months, and that was because I was using G-Technic. It's such a flexible coating; it's more susceptible to sort of clogging up, if that makes sense, because of its design. And so I was trying to fix it because I was just chasing the beads. and all I was doing really is using solvents or these high pH level products. As much as ceramic coatings are protective for it, I didn't realize I was over fiddling with it. I was doing what me and Maz talk about now, and what we've been talking about for a while, is over exaggerating processes for the sake of doing it, like overdoing it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, well, they use that word resistant as in it's immune. It's not. Resistant just means that it can. You shouldn't. Right?
Exactly. But I didn't realize that actually. I didn't realize until recently with deep diving into the whole real GT thing, and I can't wait for you guys to. I mean, Maz has been telling me recently about a product called Gaia. Have you heard of Gaia yet? Have you heard of the ceramic Gaia? Right. So this is one. They've got 9 coatings. Gaia is like Arnold Schwarzenegger of ceramic. It's basically a base layer pro level coating that is your base layer of just pure tensile muscle that you put on, like Arnie. And then literally it's hydrophilic. There's no beading to it at all. It's just pure, like if you've got soft paint like a Tesla, black Tesla, Gaia is going to make it a nutcase.
And right? Gaia is a new coating coming?
It's a pro coating. So it's for the accredited pro coating network. It's not a product that actually the pros actually use a lot in their pro settings, but I'm really excited to use it as Gaia because you won't find it anywhere, by the way. This is secret screw MI5.
He saw me looking online, bro.
I know you won't find it. It's not on there. The 2 ones you'll find is Hyperion and Typhon, which is the pro level coatings. Obviously, you've got Hades, you've got Orthrus, you've got so Orthrus is their PPF coating, which is their 1 to 2 year coating, which is paint and PPF. You've got Cerberus, which is their 3 year coating, which Jamie did a car the other day with Cerberus and Chimera, and he was just like, game over, mate. He was like, Chimera was like...
I have it down here, so I'm doing it on a Porsche in a couple of weeks.
Because I've been like raving about CS, right? And so like, Maz was like, but yeah, you wait till you put Chimera on, you then won't like CS. I was like, how am I supposed to do these videos when I'm almost telling like, your own products are like, like, you know, so I have to like delve into it. And it's obviously like with Chimera, he said it's even easier to use than Sigma.
Brandon, did you ask the question already to Jonny? So there's a lot of debate going about like protection and quick detailers. And you
Conway
have
actually asked about that.
You did?
Conway did when he joined. He was asking about low to no protection.
Yeah, so he already answered like the Sigma, like you have 3, right? So we have the quick detailer, which is the everyday. Doesn't last a wash, maybe 2, right? You can use it as a drying aid. Super slick. Yeah. And Sigma would be like the middle cousin. You like him? He comes around. He's stout.
Sigma is like the glue that sticks them both together. Mm-hmm. Like it works with both of them. And like I got criticised for a video I did where I said the protection because they were like thought I was taking the piss, thinking that I was saying that like you got to buy all 3 products to do what you got to do. What they didn't realise was it's like CS is like your fantastic. Any ceramic on the market is a great ceramic topper like C2V3 would be with G-Technic.
Well, CS, you got to put respect on that name too because it'll leave a high spot because it's stout. CS is stout, so you want to take your time on that.
On non-corrected paint, it will.
Yeah, on non-corrected, I'm saying if you're going to use that in your LSP, that will last a while. It's stout.
On corrected paint, it will go on and off pretty easily. If you use an applicator, it'll lay on pretty. If you use towels, you're gonna have a nightmare of it. You're gonna have a nightmare because you're just gonna smear everywhere. Sigma the same as well. What I said about Sigma is it's Sigma is the uncle that gets too drunk at Christmas, but you still love him.
Yeah, Sigma is
it is. Sigma,
it's wild. It's wild.
Sigma will tell you if you've deconned the car properly because you will put it on and it will be grabby, just like we talked about with Brandon earlier about the glass cleaner. Hey Google, stop talking to me. Hey Google, activate the editing. Sorry, Google likes to talk to me. So the smearingness. I phoned Maz and I was like, dude, mate, I love it, right? But I'm getting like on this black car, I'm getting smears everywhere.
Were
Like,
you using too much? Were you going dry? Like, walk me through that, because a lot of people say that, right? You hear it in chat, like, "Well, I got sun smeared." What causes
I'm a
it?
bit, you know, I'm a bit of a geek, Eddie, so I like to use applicators for everything anyway. Like, I probably
Oh yeah.
apart from QD, right? Which is like, for me, QDs, they're supposed to be easy on, easy off, right?
Oh,
And
it
so
is.
that's
Yeah,
why I
true.
said about Sigma. I asked a stupid question. I went, "Why is it so grabby?" He went, "Because it's strong, like it's supposed to be strong. You know, it's supposed to, because it's only got a 9-week duration, but I underestimated how much filling capability it has. So if you was to, you know, like with a glaze, if you was to box off on a bonnet and then put Sigma on the bonnet and then peel it off, you watch how much filling it does. It's crazy.
And
I
people
just
don't
thought,
get that, Johnny. The feeling part is that darkening effect. You'll see it.
well,
With
exactly.
Sigma.
Exactly, but it's also the like not resinous, but it's like it just has so much material in it. And in its class of a 9-week product, its filling capabilities are so high, and so it's gonna have, you're gonna have a you can't have a one size fits all. And this is why I said to Maz about this tiering system is, why didn't you just make it this way? And he said, because we want it to do a job. We don't want to insult the installer and make something that's average, that's easy on, easy off. We want them to be able to work at it, get it, and then once they get it, they can't not get it. And that's what Brandon was asking tonight about the glass cleaner. There is a specific on and off technique with the glass cleaner and these sort of issues with the glass, like how it operates and how it works. And so it's and like what Brandon's finding with his glass now is it's just super grabby. Like he's using decon shampoo and he's using the glass cleaner. It's just becoming super grabby. And so that's why Maz came on earlier and was just chatting about it and saying that's why they won the mega test against all the glass cleaners in the UK, because
It was in the magazine. Maz told me.
Pro Detailer Mag, yeah,
It was in like it's slated. Just the cleaning properties and the way that it breaks down the grime on the glass.
But look, Maz has been on it tonight, and I can say it out loud because he's already mentioned it. He's working on version 2, right?
What?
And like version 2 is like going to be very competitive, but the problem is because it's got different additives in it, and it's obviously going to be going into, you know, Built Hamber glass cleaner is obviously one of those ones from a marketing point of view that everyone's clambering towards. But what they're not realizing with that product, from YouTubers in general and from outside, that it's got a certain additive in it, right? That's absolutely useless in the summer, right? Because it flashes far too fast. And so, what's the point in having a glass cleaner for the summer and a glass cleaner for the winter? You know, like Built Hamber product in the winter will do you absolutely a favor, because even though it's super strong, and even with Jeff talking about his Built Hamber product, he was like, really likes the glass cleaner, but it's like he doesn't want to touch it because it like blows his head off, like in the cabin and stuff. It's like too strong. It's like smells it's too aggressive, and it's that additive they're using that does a really good cleaning job, by the way. But when it's flashing too fast, when a product flashes too fast, you're not getting the dirt off the surface. You want the liquid to pull like a wave the dirt off, pulling it off.
That's why people have went the route of like adding like some surfactants in it.
Yeah,
for the greasers.
well, this is like why Garage Therapy's gone with a blend of surfactants and the greasers. It's like a nice blender too. And so it's interesting how we've gone so deep on the glass cleaning process, but a lot of this stuff that we're talking about on here is like, and I do the same thing as we do on the lives, is like everyone wants this one size fits all answer to the question. And one of the things we talked about a minute ago, Brandon, was it about there's not enough talk about the prep stage before the prepping the glass, using clay bars, using machine polishing. All that prep process will make glass cleaning on a maintenance much, much easier, won't it? And those are the real nuts and bolts of, like, again, like prepping a panel properly. If your panel's prepped and it's been machine polished and stuff and it's decon, Sigma and CS and QD is a dream. QD really, for me, is the mopper upper of any high spots. Really, that's what I use it for.
I like it as a drying aid.
You like it that now, yeah?
As a drying aid, you know, when it's wet, do a rinse and wash.
Yeah,
dry
yeah.
it,
That's what I'm saying. Because you watched that you watched me use it on the live, and you're like you're trying to get through the screen.
I got a question for you, Johnny, and tell me this is appropriate or not. So, I've been playing with trim.
Yeah, yeah.
I diluted it 4-to-1, and I use it as my tire dressing.
Soaked in the tire. If they're old tires, it will just disappear.
They were new, dude, and I was like, okay. So I did one hit, went outside, smoked a cigar because I was pissed because I'm like, oh man, I gotta clean the tire again. Did it again, and it looks real good.
That's what I'm saying.
It looks real, dude. It's insane. Like I don't
As
know
good
if you
as tire serum.
No, hell no.
Okay.
But it's like if you it's for like the beaters, like the Ford Fusion, the lady who throws up in her car and hates her car. You don't want to use tire serum on that, right? You just dilute it 4-to-1, spray it on, wipe it in, walk away. That's because it's affordable at that point, like not long term.
Have you seen the beading on the? Have you seen the beading on the trim? Have you seen the beading yet? The water behavior.
Oh yeah, it's the water behavior on it. It's right away. So after it dries to the touch.
It's been on my car since the middle of May, and it's still just pissing itself.
So I wanted to ask you. So since I put on a tire, it's going to be a commitment, huh? Because I put it. I'm talking about. I sprayed it, went outside, smoked a cigar, a biggie. It was like this big, and then came back in, sprayed it again, rubbed it in, walked away. It's on there for a little bit, huh?
But it's again, it's another product from Garage Therapy that's supposed to be OEM plus, and that's the same as Dash Serum. Like people were asking the questions, and this is actually a ping back to you for knowledge for future. DRK Dragon was asking this question about can you top Dash Serum with trim, and I was like, obviously in my head, my answer to the question was Dash Serum cleans, trim protects. So why would you use Dash Serum because you clean off trim, if that makes sense? But Maz gave me obviously the Maz answer of them all, which is even better. Is Dash Serum is designed to dissolve and migrate and cross-link with the Dash to make it OEM plus. So there's no greasiness, whereas a silicone-based product will be resinous, greasiest. Does that make sense on the thing? So they're completely non-compatible because they're doing different things. Whereas if you've got a Porsche or a beautiful Audi with leather seats and all the other stuff, that's why Dash Serum works so well on leather. That's why we had the conversation. I was like, Eddie, use it on your steering wheel, mate. You're gonna go nuts. Because
I used it to clean the other day too. It was good.
There's nothing on it afterwards. Whereas you wouldn't use trim on there because
but I'm saying trim though. It's very versatile because I use it.
But it's still. But what you're seeing is, and what I've seen on my cars is that with really faded plastics for trim, it's the plastic's just sucking it up. It's just, and so it's like literally not dark. It's not on really faded trims. It doesn't really do a lot because it's not a lipstick. It's actually, again, it's going in, which is fascinating. I had like on my E46 BMW, it's the trim underneath is just white, bright white. Put it on, it went black. 1 to 4, boom. I was like, brilliant. Turn around, looked again, and it had gone. It went grey. It didn't go white. It didn't go back to white. It went grey, but it didn't kill it. So I used solution finish to actually darken it, which is the proper process. That's the proper process, isn't it? It's set it up, ready for it to do its things. That makes sense.
So did you do solution finish, then top it with trim?
Yes. Damn, 2 coats of solution finish, the top to trim. And I'll tell you what, I haven't had to
right away or what? Walk me through this because usually I do solution finish.
Following that, like I said, you leave solution finish for an hour, 1 coat, hour, leave it. Because, but if you don't have solution finish, what you would do, and I love this because Maz gave me this little nugget yesterday. He's like, mate, if you haven't got solution finish, tire serum. Just put tire serum and then
that's what I'm going to try. I'm about to try that. As soon as my trim gets here.
There's some IP in tire serum that I cannot tell you about, right? But let me tell you this. Now I know about it. I'm like, now I know why that stuff is going apeshit in America and across the board. Because I know that Ryan's like, and like, when we did the testimonial stuff and everyone's like tire serum. I now know why tire serum is a G. And it's like, when you know, it's like, holy shit. So all I will say is with tire serum, in my mistake why I phoned him and asked him the question was because with tire serum, if you get it on your alloys, please get it off quick. Just get it off. Don't ask me why. Just wipe that off.
I co-sign that. I made a mistake and left it on there because I blame my blindness. But
you'll see it go quite dry, and you need to get it off. I mean, it doesn't do any damage, so it's not like it's going to do any damage. It's just going to ruin your finish. But it's once you started using tire serum, once you've set it up like I set up, panel wipe, wash the tires, panel wipe, then prep with panel wipe, obviously with a towel, and then obviously then apply tire serum. Since I've been using that process, I have not had to clean my customers' wheels once. Like literally, when I foam it with wheel shampoo brings it off, scrub it, done. Tire serum at the end. I don't have to like it. Literally, once it's set up, and the more you add, the thicker and stronger it gets. Because you know what rubber's like. Rubber will just keep. It's like hair. It will just keep taking what you give it. It's like conditioning. It'll just keep taking it until it can't get any more. So you can just, but now we're at a point where there's no brown. None of my clients' cars have got any browning. There's no signs of browning. And that we're talking about hot climates here at the moment in the UK, unforeseen hot climates with road temperatures. And that's where browning is going to happen because the tire is going to start getting hot and stretching. And that's where the browning happens. And what people try and do is they try and remove that browning with like high APCs and CarPro retire, and all you're doing is stripping out ozone. It's like how much ozone do you want to keep stripping out of the tire, if that makes sense? That's why tire serum was invented, was to keep replenishing these processes. And so,
hey, real quick, I think Ryan had a question. This is a good question. Is it water-based or solvent tire serum?
Water-based. It's water-based.
And it's so extreme. It's wild because they're two different things, right? But they, like, you could tell it's the products are
polymers.
Different.
It's got polymers in it. Basically, it's water-based, but it's polymer, right? And so that's why I wouldn't recommend it. But the only pump sprayer that actually you can pump tire serum with that I was doing tests on it was actually the new Pressol sprayers from OG. It was the only Pressol sprayer. And by the way, the OG Pressol sprayer, right, is the most overrated, expensive tool on the market right now, right? But what I will say is, so's a Porsche, so's a Ferrari, yeah? Like, you do not need a Pressol sprayer. You just don't need it. But what I will say to you is it doesn't spray more than the Vela triggers that come from Garage Therapy. There's nothing about it that is going to make you want to buy it. But what I will tell you this about that trigger sprayer, fuck me. When you put iron oxide in that bastard, it is a nutcase. Because iron oxide is so thick, it just goes.
Yeah, aerates it pretty good.
Its aeration is insane.
Like it bubbles on the wheel at a rate like two times more than what you're
on the wheel from iron oxide, and it's like the vaporizing of it on a wheel is
the Pressols are great for that. So anything that requires like aeration on wheel cleaners or tire cleaners is nuts. Coming out of a Pressol bottle.
Look, the Pressols. Look, I'm not digging Matt out here for anything. Like, I love Matt's and all this stuff he does. Right, it's Pressol sprayers were designed for his garage ecosystem. They were to fit into. They're an accessory like Porsche have jackets to wear when you buy a Porsche, right? It's an accessory to his garage business, his garage accessory, like his whole thing. Like it's not an easy product to hold. It's not an easy product to use in a professional environment. Conway, how you doing, buddy?
Come on.
Good boy. Nice to see you, mate. Nice to meet you. It's not an easy product to use in a professional environment because when you're spraying it, it gives me blisters. It gives me trigger. I'd rather use an IK. Like an IK trigger is much softer. But what I will say is
have you used it in your? You were telling me the other day. I say the other day. It's more like 3 weeks. The Tornador foamer. It's that foamer situation I'm talking about.
What's that?
The Tornador foamer.
Oh my god, that and wheel shampoo's on off its head.
Have you ever done like iron oxide in that?
Yeah,
Is it nuts?
too much.
It's too much.
nuts.
All right, yeah, okay.
Do you know when you? Do you know, I've got a video and I'll send it to you anyway. I did it in January.
Yeah.
When I used iron oxide in the Tornador foamer, yeah, it dwelled for 45 minutes.
Oh, it was thick, huh?
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
45 minutes it dwelled for. I was deconning these set of alloy wheels, right? I'm telling you now, right? You know when we did the wheel video for episode 1, we did the wheel video and I did it on that back wheel. I've been testing iron oxide against fucking acids, right? And it knocks its fucking head off. Like I can't. It's head to head with an acid, decon shampoo and iron oxide together. Just like the safety level.
You ever try mixing iron oxide with like the car shampoo and IK Pro foamer, and then and let it sit and let it do its thing, or you don't like?
No, because what you're doing is diluting the triglycolate down, which is totally. And there's another video that I'm bringing out about that is the fact that if you're one of the videos I'm bringing out next, I'm just going to say it out loud because I normally keep these secret, but I'm just going to tell you is the conversation I'm having at the moment is basically keep wetting your product down with the same product is the rule of thumb. So if you've got like a citrus on the car and it's drying out, re-wet it with citrus. What people are starting to do is use snow foams or wheel shampoos for the Instagram look to get that nice raspberry ripple finish. And what all you're doing is actually you've basically just muted the process of the breakdown of iron. And so while that iron activation process, which is I've got like from just a spray trigger bottle, I was telling Maz about it. Maz has gone and done some work of it as well when he had a GT open day with Porsche. It was like 9 to 10 minutes and it was still working. Like other iron fallout on the markets, if you're doing your YouTube testing, especially built hammer, it will fire up really quickly and then it will just fizzle out. Does that make sense? Like a firework, it just goes and then literally out. And so this constant just breaking it down, which basically, when we talk about the process accelerator process with garage therapy, what's happening is that you only have to apply it once. So you don't have to keep like rinsing it off and then applying to get the iron that iron like breaking a sweat, like a boxer breaking a sweat to lose weight. It's like once you've applied iron oxide, it's just gonna keep going and going and going. So
there's a good question in chat. Don't know, I'll be your wingman until I have to go cook because I'm on duty today, Johnny.
That's all right, mate.
Andrew asked, what's the benefits of using hot water with decon, pros and cons?
What's the benefit of using hot water for decon?
Yeah, pros and cons.
There is no con. There's only a pro.
Well, as we all know, there's basically 3 things to cleaning. There's dwell time, there's temperature, and there's chemical as far as that goes. So any one of those 3, when you combine them, can be a benefit.
Agitation, all that stuff. It's all part of the process. But when I use my favorite thing in the winter is a boiled kettle, like in the snow foam cannon with V2. It just the way it comes out is nuts. And so that's my only criticism and compliment of garage therapy is like wheel shampoo so thick. It's like a gel, isn't it? It's like hair gel. And so what the mistakes of people have made that I've seen in testing in certain different, I won't name anybody, but they're not mixing. And so it's a negative because it makes it a bit of a faff. But like you go back to trim compared to Car Pro Pearl and VRP, it's so like, is that what you got there?
They're all different. They're all different.
Well, Conway's you got trim in your hand. It's really liquid, isn't it? Like really runny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as thick as a lot of the other ones you use.
Yeah,
but it dilutes real good in a bottle. Like you could see it.
Like 1 to 4, 1 to 10, 1 to 20. It's like what you're getting like.
Try it out in glass tomorrow. So
glass is good.
I'm excited,
So Johnny.
Like
quick question. just before we leave the subject, you were talking about wheel shampoo and regular, snow foam, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now that I got tire serum on, I'm supposed to maintain that with the wheel shampoo, right? Does
Yeah.
that mean if I foam the car with snow foam, it's gonna harm my tire serum?
No,
Or
that stuff
like, should I
is
try to keep it off of
on,
there?
mate.
Okay, I'm just asking.
No,
I just
like
want to make sure.
wheel shampoo was primarily designed for carbon ceramic brakes, and obviously it's part of the maintenance range, so it's in the one range. So it's we've obviously got Teslas now with the way the braking systems are formulated now and manufactured. Obviously, there's a lot of grease that's obviously used in certain those areas. So wheel shampoo obviously is designed to not break down like a high APC would that's got degreases in it. So it's working in a pH balanced way, if that makes sense with those areas. But like you could use decon shampoo on those tires, and trust me, you're going to struggle to get fucking tire serum off. If I'm honest, if you've done 2 layers of tire serum and you still keep topping, you're gonna find it hard to get it off.
It's hard to strip off.
I've used
But
tire
you
serum.
only top it when you need to top it, right? You don't. I mean, you don't top it on the reg, right?
I do because I'm just a twat like that because I just love it.
Brandon, you don't do like tire dressing every wash?
No, I do, but this is my first time using tire serum, right?
I use it every wash.
It's
bro.
just so
seems
fast.
much more
Because it's so runny though, Brandon. It's not like Maguire's gel or endurance gel or like a gel. It's where you've got it's like really like it literally is. It's so fast. It's quicker than cleaning glass, mate. It's literally just a soft, it's on. I'm just like all 4 wheels are done in like under 90 seconds, if I'm honest. It's so fast.
Yeah, I haven't done my first tire serum wash yet, so that's why I was asking the question.
I'll wait until you see it. Wait until you see it beading. It's like it's weird to see tires beading like it's got ceramic coating. It's bizarre.
I hate tires, and it's one of those things that I like a dressing that lasts and lasts and lasts. I mean, Eddie knows what I like a lot, and that stuff like 6 months later and it's still on. I mean, but I've used the tire serum once. One of the things I liked about it was the application dye, the grayness to it, and then that goes away as you apply it in, and it fades off, but it allows you to see where you've got it at and where you don't have it at.
Do you know what? I never really thought about that until you just said that. But yeah, it's like almost like the UV ceramic coatings, isn't it? Like you just get to see where it is. Look at it, 10 seconds. You don't even want to like with normal tires, like tire. This is why it's a serum, right? This is why a lot of companies are now using the same language as tire serum, tire conditioners, all this kind of. When Garage 3 brought out tire serum, do you know what happened in the UK when they brought out tire serum? Everyone thought they were taking a piss. They thought it was like a joke. It's like a new name for a coating for wheels. Like then when everyone started using it, they went, "Holy fucking shit!" This stuff, like, like because everything else was only lipstick, right? It was lipstick.
You know, everything... for me though, Johnny, I'm man. Maybe it's the Spanish dude in me. Like my dad, right? It used to be so greasy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, back in the day. I used to use back in the day. You remember when who was it? Armor All came with the spray, and then Grills came out with the spray. Do you guys remember that? And it was like it was dark and greasy, and then water-based dressings were a thing, and then you just spray it on. You let it sit for 10-15 minutes. Come wipe with a towel. That's for me. How can I get that same experience with tire serum for those who are coming from a traditional water-based, spray. How can I get that same vibe if I was starting out to use tire serum? Because some people are going from spraying on the tire and then using a brush, especially the knobby wheels. Over here in the West, there's a lot of people with like big trucks and knobby wheels. How would you tackle that?
I just think there's certain products in the lineup that just don't exist yet. And tire serum it's an OEM plus kind of look, right?
No. I mean, how do I get tire serum? The better question is, how do I get tire serum?
Wet.
Not to look wet, to apply on bigger knobby tires.
Great big tires that you guys don't have over there.
Because that's why people use water-based dressings, because they're so big, they get annoyed of having to sit there and scrub it on. So they just spray tire just all over, do the wipe, do the towel, walk away.
You can use,
dilute it with
you
distills.
can use a
maybe?
paint gun. You could use even like the Tornador liquid sprayers. I mean, and that's
100%.
just. I mean, you got a tire that's 4 feet tall and like.
Yeah, like a tractor tire, basically. It's like proper like
huge,
off-roading.
huge, Johnny,
Hummer.
huge, like lifted.
Huge.
I know.
The knobs on them are like my fists, and side by side. You got to get in between all that.
No, I agree, and that was going back to my original point. Is that the OG press hole sprayer, the press hole sprayer is the only sprayer I've used with tire serum, because I was like, look, I was trying to find an angle for this press hole sprayer, just like, because everything else on it was exactly the same as everything else until I used it with iron oxide and until I used it with tire serum, and I was like, if tire serum can work in this thing, and I sprayed it on. Don't get me wrong, right? It sprays at such a wide mist that you're going to get it everywhere. But if you're doing it on a big truck tire, you're like, that is the perfect applicator for that. And so, mate, I would just probably say, like, do you know what I would do? If I'm honest, I'd probably use a rinse to sponge and put tire serum on it.
All right,
I can tell you,
I'm gonna go downstairs and try it right now. I got this huge truck.
I wonder if that would work, Eddie. If you could use a rinse to sponge.
I'm gonna try it. I have like 12 sponges. I'm gonna go put some on it, because right now it's like
I tell you what would be really good with it is the SpongeGuru wash mitt that's got the knobbles on it.
No, I can't use that. I use that for rinses. No, dude.
It's good.
I use that for rinses wash, bro. No.
I use that auto fiber applicator with the it's got a yellow netting, and then it has a
be right. This
front.
I'm telling you right now, this knobby tire, this truck is massive, and the tires are.
Please do a video on you doing it, please. Just do a video on you doing that. I'm just gonna.
And that's the only thing I haven't done on a truck yet, because I'm like, this is gonna piss me off. Because if I give him a water base, he's gonna get frustrated because he's driving back like 500 miles. So I'm trying to give him something that lasts, because he drove from Montana here. That's what I'm saying. But I don't want to sit there and just all these knobs like this. It'll take 30 minutes to tire.
Yeah, just leave it for an hour and then reapply. Leave it for half hour.
Oh, he died. He his internet cut out. He hit his
He
quota.
locked up.
He hit his quota in the UK for internet. 2 in the morning, they're cut off.
It is quota for UK.
I'm still here. Don't worry. It's still here. I lagged out a bit then. Sorry. Yeah, but just 2 coats within half an hour.
All right, 2 coats, 30 minutes on a sponge. I'm gonna go do that right now. Johnny, thanks for having me on, man. I'm gonna go cook and then
do me a favor. When you jump off this, just leave the tabs open so it'll upload your, because what this does, this software, is it uploads locally from your thing, so I get the perfect. It's all 4K all round, so just leave it open.
Oh, just walk away.
Yeah, just walk away. Just leave. Yeah, you can come out, but just leave it, because what it'll do is it will upload, and so that means I can take these little snippets and put them together. Because what it's going to do now is you're locally uploading to a cloud for me, so I can actually take your raw footage and use that as my for my edit.
Get this
different to StreamYard. I'll tell you about this offline, because it's sneaky, isn't it?
Make sure you get this picture, Johnny. Make sure you get the picture.
Hey, how'd your trim turn out, Eddie?
The trim turned out good. You were right. The eraser. I didn't use the heat gun. I used the eraser.
Yeah. Eraser.
Did God's work. Did God's work. I mean, I left there, and then the last thing I had, I coated the car. The last thing I have is these tires, and I'm like, these tires are big as heck, man. They're huge. And I was like, I could put a water-based one. It'll last, like, he's going 500 miles back to Montana. But I'm like, I wonder if I could do this if I do tire serum. But then I don't want to sit there like this for 50 hours per tire, bro. That's like, so I'm like, if there's a way I could either cut it 1-to-1 and maybe get some of the things, spray it on.
I think you can. Maz doesn't like it, but I think you can. Yeah, I've done it 1-to-1 for engine base.
1-to-1. If I do 1-to-1, wait 30 minutes, do another one. I'm assuming
I would do 1-to-1, and I would do 1-to-1 in the sprayer.
Yeah,
which will set it up, and then do a proper application afterwards, if that makes sense. But use a big
and then use the brush to work it in.
Yeah.
Come back, wait 30 minutes, and do it again, right?
You might just need to get a fucking massive paintbrush, mate.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm sitting here.
Roller.
Like, I walked out. I was like, I don't know what to do here. I mean, I was about to go to all O'Reilly's and buy like the grease sticks and just spray that mug on and let it ride.
Tire serum's runny enough, though, isn't it? It's runny enough to.
No, but it's like when I do it on a brush, it looks better with foam applicator.
Yeah,
I want it to.
yeah, because it levels.
Yeah, the
really
knob.
nicely.
It's the knobbiness of this tire that's throwing me off because it's like a whole bunch of knobs, right? So
yeah, brushes. Some of this stuff in the detailing community, right, is not. Some techniques that just don't change. They just are what they are. Like a good tire, like Maguire's do a, you know, those pucks you get, but Maguire's have started doing. It's 20 quid for this bloody brush, but they've done like the same tip as those little pucks, those tiny little puck things, but like as a brush, and it's absolutely. I use it all the time with tire serum. It's like
you
20
said
quid.
Maguire's does. Hold on.
Look at Maguire's. They do a It's the same. They're really clever actually, because you know all those. Go.
You know what else will
bigger
work
than the
really
Car
well?
Pro one?
Is actually if you use
Car Pro.
tire serum, but if you use tire serum and you know the DIY tire dressing brush,
Yeah.
use that because it's a great big brush. It'll cover a lot, and it will get
I
into
use it for the arches. That's my
Well,
arch.
is it gonna level like I want when with foam?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we'll
go do this.
easy.
I'm sitting there thinking
You're
like
doing a video now, mate. You got to do a video on that. I'm seeing it.
Yeah,
Conway's got it spot on.
tire brush.
Conway's got it spot on.
It's kind of like the flag tip brush, but it's their tire brush.
Johnny, if I make
The
this,
green
if
one.
I make GT serum, I'm gonna put like 5 layers on to get the Spanish vibe on this truck, and I'm gonna take a picture and send it to you. I'm gonna take a picture and I'm gonna send it to you.
I want to see your fucking face in it, mate.
I'm gonna take a picture and I'm gonna send it to you, and I'm gonna put hashtag Puerto Rico.
I love it. Listen, guys, look, I'm gonna bow out as well. Look, I appreciate everyone on the chat as well at the same time. So thanks for coming on. Look, we're gonna do these. I'm doing these every Saturday night for just people to just come and it's community discussion basically. Just come on and chat about it because I've got. Can I just say this? I want to say thanks to Eddie for introducing me to the community in America because I've got to say. You guys are way more friendly than our UK community scene. I'm telling you.
Is that because the UK's been at war for 1,000 years? You guys.
No, it's not. No, it's not that. It's because we're just miserable over it.
Have you seen their weather, Eddie?
No, they're hot. They haven't had rain in like 6 months.
Have you seen the weather and the faces on the girls we've got over it? It's terrible, mate. It's tragic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Johnny, just imagine if we had healthcare here, man. We would be like elated.
The thing is, me and Maz talk about it all the time. That right, I spoke to my mate the other day, right, and I turned around to him and said, "I've got a really good idea for a video, man. I'm going to do this." And he went, "Nah, it won't work. Nah, it won't work." I'm like, but I said, "Look, but I think, look, if I do it, nah, it's not going to work, mate. Nah, shit, it's crap, shit. Don't bother." I spoke to another American colleague, right, and he's like, "Yeah, man, you do that. That's you rock it. You know, tell me what you want, I'll do it with you. Let's go." Like, you know, like I'm like, this is what I want in my life. Like, I don't want this no can do attitude. I want this can do attitude. It's like, I'm just vibing off of you guys in America at the moment. I'm like, I'm starting to get my head. I'm really enjoying. I'm going to move out there, man, because you guys are so much more fun. These guys are getting on my tits. I mean, I do love my UK audience. We do love a bit of cynicism. We have got a real dry sense of humour. But I think you guys have got a good sense of humor, like a dry sense of humour as well. Actually, I think you get it as well. And so, but you're just way more positive. Way more positive.
We're all crazy.
You are. You do a whole lot. There can be some crazy over there too, isn't there? There's just,
you haven't met a Latina woman, bro.
Oh, there you go.
Don't get me excited, bro.
Dude,
look,
you say excitement. You probably like the toxicity.
Look, press soul spray of damage, boys. Press soul spray of damage.
I've been there. I can tell you for a fact. No bueno.
Hey, Johnny, I don't care how much you love the toxicity. Spanish women, dude, between you and God. Look,
I've done it. Look, I've done Italian. I've done Mexican. So look, you know, I'm doing that.
I'm gonna dip out. You guys take care.
See you, everyone.
See you guys.
Thanks for everyone for joining, mate. We'll see you next Saturday, yeah, for another edition. We appreciate you guys. Yep. Everyone jumping on the chat tonight, even though it's like nearly 2:00. 2:00 UK time. We really appreciate everyone staying for this time and having a good chat. Like this is what these lives are all about. I'll be clipping some of these contents up. Don't forget to leave a comment on the video afterwards. If you haven't subscribed yet, leave us a little subscription. We appreciate you. Thanks for supporting the channel. We appreciate it. And hopefully you can come back for next week's edition of the community chat. This will be episode 4. So got a few videos coming out next week as well. going to be trying to pump out as much stuff as I possibly can to try and help you in real time, so I don't just have to talk about it. I can showcase it and hopefully get Maz to get on the podcast again so we can get the Snow Phone podcast out. But really appreciate you guys coming on board and all that sort of stuff. So have a really good weekend. Enjoy yourself and let me know. Don't forget to tell me in the description on the video, in the comment section, anything you want to talk about. Just get it in there. We can have a little conversation there as well. I really appreciate it. Have a good evening, guys.